Well, welcome to class. Thank you for coming and joining me on this Wednesday morning Energise and Flow. So just coming into your comfortable position, always optional with the legs. I'm sitting here with the legs folded in a variation of what we call Sukhasana. If you want to support the legs, you can just have the feet underneath the shins. Or if there's a little bit more flexibility in the hips and you want to just bring the heels a bit closer, or you can sit on the heels, you can extend the legs. Okay, so closing the eyes, coming into your space, and starting to connect and observe your natural breath. So we're watching the inhale, we're watching the exhale, as in with the eyes closed, observing, witnessing natural breath. So we're not forcing deep breathing at this stage, we're just settling into a very natural, calm, steady breath. And as we settle into our calm breath, we just start to become aware of the body. So a body scan starting from your toes, just taking your awareness up the legs. And we're scanning, observing, feeling where we're at this moment. Okay? So if you observe or experience any areas of tension or tightness, we're just observing, we're not trying to judge or understand what's going on, we're just seeing where we're at this moment in time. And as we move through our practice, if there's any areas that are particularly tight or you're carrying an injury at the moment, we can remind ourselves to be kind and compassionate towards our body, using our props or modifying in the posture to support our body. So making your way up the chest, up into the shoulders, softening, relaxing. Taking the awareness all the way up to the top of the head. And as you come to the top of the head, the crown, we just gently start to find some length in the body. So we're reaching the crown towards the sky and we're drawing the sit bones down in towards the earth. So we naturally create this tallness in the body, but without being too stiff. So we're still calm, we're still alert, but we've created space in the body for the breath and the prana, the energy to flow. And we can start to connect to our Ujjayi breath, ocean breath. In Ujjayi breath, we kind of constrict, tighten the throat muscles. And when we constrict into the back of the throat, the breath brushes across the throat. And it creates a lovely sound, almost like the waves coming in and out from the shore. So just see if you can hear your breath when you create a little bit of tightness here in the back of the throat. If it helps, you could drop your chin very slightly, and that will naturally contract the muscles in the throat. And we try and keep the mouth closed, and we're breathing in and out through the nose. Deep breaths now. We're controlling the breath. We've moved into pranayama. Still keeping everything soft in the body, trying not to lift shoulders as you breathe. Keep the shoulders soft. Breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest, breathe into the throat. And then as you exhale, release the breath, keep the body soft. Three more breaths here with your Ujjayi breath. then returning to the natural breath. Just observing any shift in the sensations in the body. And then slowly opening the eyes. Change the fold of the legs. We're going to sit here for a little bit longer, so just changing the fold of the legs. So we're going to come into seated cat-cow. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Seated cat-cow. Okay, hands sitting on top of the thighs. As you inhale, just pressing the chest forwards, lifting the chin, opening up into the throat. You create a little arch into the back. And as you exhale, rounding, drawing the chin towards the chest. Inhale, pressing the chest forward. You can almost draw the hands further up the thighs as the shoulder blades press into the spine. And as you exhale, maybe the hands move towards the knees and the shoulder blades move away from the spine. Rounding into the back, chin to chest. Pull your belly button gently back towards your spine. Inhale, breathe into the belly, allow the belly to expand. Opening up the chest, opening up into the heart space. Shoulder blades pinching in towards the spine. Exhale. So moving with your own breath now through your seated cat-cow. Feeling into the spine, feeling into the chest, feeling into your shoulders. And if you feel like you want to hold in a certain position, please do. If you feel like I really need more of a cat this morning, then holding your cat for a few breaths. If you feel like you need more of a cow posture, you want to open up into the chest and the heart space, then hold here. So just feeling into your body. Two more breaths. And then we can start to make our way onto all fours. So I'm just removing my prop, placing the hands forward, rolling on to the knees. So toes can be tucked or feet flat in your tabletop. It's yogi's choice. I'm just moving the hips from side to side here, opening up into the side body. So as your hips go one way, take your head and your shoulders the other way. Really sort of reach and round to the opposite side of the hips. And then shifting it slightly now, the head and the hips are going to go in the same direction. So hips to the left, head comes to the left. Hips to the right, head peeks round to the right. A slightly different stretch here. And then coming back into the center, preparing to thread the needles. So we're going to come into the shoulders. Starting on the right side, as you inhale, lift your right arm up, open the chest up to the right. And as you exhale, sweep the right arm underneath the body, palm facing up, drop your right shoulder, drop the right side of the head. And just bring your left hand so it's just in front of your face, supporting you. So we're going to come into a balance from here, okay? So just settling in for a moment, leveling out through the hips. And then if you feel you want to explore and play with a little balance, I'm going to start to extend the left leg back behind me. I haven't got much space. Let me move forward. Okay, so I'm lifting that left leg up. Got my left hand grounded into the mat that's helping me balance. I'm breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. And 1. Keeping that leg lifted, see if you can now release your right arm from underneath you and place the right hand down. We've still got the left leg lifted. Inhale, lift your chin and lift that leg a little bit higher. And exhale, round in. So you're bringing your left knee in towards your chest, your chin coming down towards your chest, and just rounding through the spine. A variation of cat. Lovely. And then release the left knee down. So you're back on your tabletop position. Let's take that over to the other side. Left arm reaches up. Inhale, the chest draws round towards the left. And as we exhale, left arm underneath you. Palm facing up. Just bring your right hand a little bit closer towards you so you can support yourself in your balance. And then start to extend the right leg back behind you. Breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. And 1. Still in your balance, you're going to try and bring that left hand through, keeping the right leg lifted. Don't worry if you wobble. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your leg. And exhale, round in. Right knee coming in towards the chest, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Lovely, well done. And release the right knee down. Tucking your toes, shifting your hips back. So you're in a variation of child's pose with the toes tucked. And you can reach your hands a little bit more forwards and soften the chest down if that feels okay. If you want to stay with the chest lifted, that's fine too. Breathing into your body. And then walking your hands back towards you. So lifting your chest, walking your hands back towards you. We're coming into a variation of Malasana, yogi squat. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. So, my heels are connected, if that's available. I'm up on my toes and my knees have gone wide. If this feels uncomfortable or if you have any knee or hip issues, you can come into butterfly. So sit down with the feet together, okay? If you're happy with your balance, try and straighten through the spine. Sorry, that's the postman. And press the hands in towards each other. So you're creating some energy across the top body. Breathing for 3. For 2. And 1. And then taking the hands down, just shift it back here. So we're coming into a forward fold at the back of our mat. So walking the hands towards me, straightening through the feet. So the feet are aligned, toes pointing towards the top of the mat. Keeping a bend in the knees to begin with. Just feeling into the hamstrings. You can dangle if that feels good. You can hold onto your arms. So still got a bend in the knees, still warming up. Allow the head to just fall. And then start to release your hands if you're holding onto your arms. So the hands are quite a bit further forward. Sometimes in forward fold we've got the hands by the feet. Just take the hands forward and start to lengthen. So as best you can, they don't have to be completely straight. Keeping a slight sort of micro bend in the knees so we're not locking the legs out. And then see if you can find the length in the spine. So pull your belly button back towards your spine, draw your shoulders back. Your drishti, your focus is towards the top of the mat. We're just sort of midway into the mat. Lifting your hips up. A couple more breaths. And then soften back into your more relaxed forward fold where you bend your knees and you can hold onto the arms again. Feel free to swing or find some movement if that feels good for the spine. But keep the head just dangling, okay? No tension in the neck. And then again, coming into your forward fold with the arms extended so the wrists are underneath the shoulders. We're looking for that nice straight spine. You can keep a slight bend in the knees if that helps you straighten through the spine. Breathing into the body. And then we're rolling up. So rounding through the spine, bending the knees, rounding into the shoulders, slowly rolling up. And coming all the way up to standing. Walking towards the top of your mat, preparing for your sun salutations, okay? So as we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, really finding that central space where the balance is in the center. So maybe you want to shift forwards and shift back slightly with the weight. And you're looking to have equal pressure on the pads of the feet as you have on the heels. It's almost like you can press the pads of the feet and the toes slightly into the mat, and the arch of the foot just very, very slightly lifts. And when the arch of the foot very slightly lifts, you start to feel the energy coming up the legs, and then you lift your knees and the legs have become fired up. And then we tuck our tailbones and we find that lovely length and straightening through the spine as we lift our shoulders up towards the ears, and then we take them back away from us and down. So the shoulders are sinking down the back. Palms start to face towards the top of the mat as we find ourselves in our mountain pose. Strong, but still. Calm the breath for a moment. Your gaze is forwards, straight ahead. And then I'll invite you to engage Ujjayi breath. If you don't want to engage Ujjayi breath, it's cool. Just stick with the natural breath. But if you're happy to engage Ujjayi breath, take that constriction in the throat. On your next inhale, arms reach up, looking at your thumbs. Exhale, find your forward fold. Inhale, taking halfway lift. And exhale, stepping back into your plank. Let's take a breath here in plank. Take a deep inhale. And on your next exhale, chaturanga or bending at the knees, taking the body all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Okay, listening to your body, find your variation. Exhale, downward facing dog. We can roll over the toes or come up onto the knees and find our downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Feel free to move around in your downward facing dog. Settle in. Inhale, looking up towards your hands. Exhale, step, jump or walk towards the top of your mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift. And exhale, fold into forward fold. Inhale, rising up, coming all the way up to standing. Arms reaching up. Exhale, hands come into the heart. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back into your plank and lower down chaturanga or dropping the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale, looking up towards your hands. Exhale, step or jump towards the top of your mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift. And exhale, folding into forward fold. Inhale, rising up. Lift the arms up. Exhale, hands come in towards the heart. Mountain pose. Last round. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back into your plank and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Still connecting with Ujjayi breath if you want to use your Ujjayi breath. Next, inhale, looking up towards your hands. Exhale, step or jump towards the top of your mat. Inhale, finding halfway lift. And exhale, folding into forward fold. Inhale, rising up, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, bringing hands in towards the heart. And just press your thumbs just gently into the chest bone. Reconnect with the breath. Soften the breath. Steady, calm breathing. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your right knee up. So the knee is level with your hip and the toes are pointing down. So come into our balance. Breathing for 3. For 2. For 1. I'm going to step the right foot back and come into a warrior 1. Step the right foot back. Bend your front knee. And start to lift your arms up. You're finding your warrior 1, okay? So just shifting the hips round towards the front as best you can. If grounding down with the back foot feels uncomfortable, lift your heel. Soften into the shoulders. So we're moving into a lunge with a twist. So the right hand is going to come forwards and sit down on the floor just inside the left foot, and the left arm is going to reach up. And we've revolved our lunge. And we're breathing for 2. For 1. We're going to move into a warrior 2. So inhale, lift both your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, take the arms wide. Warrior 2 on the left side. Drawing your left knee forward so it stacks over your left ankle. The chest is to the side of your mat. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Breathing into warrior 2. Preparing to reverse your warrior, flip your front palm up and drop your back hand onto the back thigh, lifting your left arm up towards the sky and look up. Breathing for 2. For 1. Side angle. We're going to place our left forearm on top of the left knee. Opening the chest to the right side of the room as we lift the right arm up and over the side of the head. The focus here is drawing the chest round towards the right, finding that length from the tip of the right fingers all the way down to the back of the right leg, the right foot. One more breath here. And then releasing the hands down either side of your front foot as you come into a lunge. So you're in your lunge. Left foot is in front, right foot is back behind you. Soften your shoulders down the back. Moving into lizard pose, okay? Left foot making its way to the outer edge of the mat. Hands, palms, pressing into the floor. You can use your blocks here if you want to use your blocks and place your hands on your blocks. Or you can place your forearms on the blocks, or the forearms can come down to the floor. Remember, you can always drop your right knee to support you. The focus here is coming into the hips, so if you need support, just drop the right knee. Breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. And 1. Bring your hands, if you come onto your forearms, take your hands back down. If you've dropped your back knee, lift your back knee. And we're going to step back into our plank pose. So left foot comes back. Take a breath in plank. And on your next inhale, find your downward facing dog. So lift your hips up, press your hips back. You can adjust the feet. Breathing into the body. Inhale, finding plank. So you're just shifting your shoulders forwards. Engaging the core, pull the belly button back towards your spine. And then find downward facing dog. Inhale, forwards into plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, looking up towards your hands. Exhale, step or jump towards the top of your mat. Inhale, finding halfway lift. And exhale, folding into forward fold. Inhale, rising up, coming all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands coming towards the heart. Taking our balance over to the left as we lift the left knee. So it's just coming level with the hips, toes pointing down towards the floor. Finding your balance. Your drishti, your focus is straight ahead. 2 more breaths. Warrior 1, as you take your left foot back, bending into the front knee and lifting the arms up. Softening into the shoulders. You can creep the right foot forwards if you want to go a little bit deeper into your warrior 1. 2 more breaths. So we're revolving our side lunge. Left hand is going to come down onto the mat as the right arm lifts up. You can lift your back heel here as you come into lunge. You can lift the back heel. Chest drawing round towards the right. Nice deep breaths. Transitioning into warrior 2. So both hands, I'm bringing both arms forwards to begin with, and then up. And then opening up to the side. Reaching the arms out to the side, keeping the arms level with the shoulder, bending into the front knee, feeling into the inner thigh, softening the shoulders down the back. Find your drishti, find your focus. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Reversing your warrior, flip the front palm up and reach back. Back hand finding the back leg. Front arm reaching up, looking up towards your fingers, breathing into the body. Side angle pose, Parsvakonasana, the right forearm resting on top of the right thigh. Opening your chest to the side, lifting the left arm up and over. Finding that length, reaching those left fingers away from you. Grounding down with the outer edge of your back foot. 2 more breaths. Moving into lunge, taking both hands either side of your front foot. Pivot round on your back foot, lift your heel. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. Preparing to move into lizard pose. So taking your right foot to the outer edge of your mat. Grab your blocks if you prefer to use your blocks. Hands can come on the blocks or forearms can come on the blocks. You can drop the left knee. Find your variation. Listen to your body. And breathe into your lizard. For 3, for 2. For 1. If you come onto the forearms, come back up onto your hands. If you drop the back knee, lift your back knee. As we prepare to come into plank, shift your right foot back to the back of your mat. Take an inhale in your plank. And as you exhale, find your downward facing dog. Inhale forwards into plank. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale forwards into plank. Exhale downward facing dog. Let's do one more. Inhale forwards into plank. Exhale downward facing dog. Just bringing your feet together in your downward facing dog. So your toes are touching, your big toes are touching. So a slight variation. Taking the hands a little bit wider. Dropping the chest down towards the earth. Releasing the head, pressing the hips up towards the sky. You can have a bend in the knees. And then take the feet back to hip width apart. We're going to take triangle pose on the right side. Inhale, lift your right leg up. And exhale, swing your right foot towards the top of the mat. Grounding down with the left foot. Straightening through the front leg. Lift the arms up so they're level with your shoulders. Inhale, reaching over towards the right side. Drop the right arm down, lift the left arm up. You can use your block. Breathing into the body. Chest facing round towards the left side of your mat. We're going to reverse our triangle. So keeping both legs straight, lift your torso up. Left hand finds the left leg, right arm reaches up towards the sky, straight up, and we're looking up. Nice deep breaths. And now take a bend into your front knee. Bend into the front knee. We're going to transition into a half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So you may need your blocks. Your right hand is coming down onto the floor, just in front to the right side of your right leg, right foot. Left leg is level with the hip, left foot is flexed. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. You can bend your right knee, right leg to help with your balance. Breathing for 3, for 2, for 1. We're moving into standing splits. Release your top arm down onto the floor. Chest draws down towards the mat, so your chest is straight ahead. You've shifted round. And you're going to just start to lift your left leg up to the sky and draw your chest downwards towards your standing leg. Breathing for 1. And then we're going to tuck our left knee into the back of our right knee as we round into the spine. Left knee tucking into the back of the right knee. The head draws down towards your right leg. Inhale, straighten front leg, straighten back leg. Exhale, round in, tuck the knees in behind each other and straighten. 1 more, curl in, knees tucking in behind each other, release the head down and straighten. Okay, this time we're coming into a seated twist. So as you bring your left knee, take the left knee outside the right foot. Left knee outside the right foot. And start to take your sit bones down onto the mat. So you end up something like this. Okay. Inhale. Let's take the right arm back behind us. Take your left arm up towards the sky. And then you're twisting round towards the right. So your left elbow is maybe finding the outer edge of your right knee. So using that back hand as a prop to keep you upright rather than leaning into it. Very sweaty. Draw your chest round towards the right. Right shoulder drawing towards the back of the room, left shoulder coming forwards. And then we'll take a slight variation here by taking the right hand further away from us. So now we are leaning into that back hand, and we'll lift the left arm up. Nice deep breaths. And then come towards the front, hugging both arms around your front knee, holding onto your shoulders. Release your head downwards, open up into the back of the neck. 2 more breaths. Okay, from here, release your hands from your shoulders. Take your hands down onto your mat. We're coming into warrior 3, so it's a standing balance pose. So shifting the weight forwards, pressure comes onto the fingertips as you lift up, and the left leg extends back behind you. You can bend your front knee as you start to take your chest parallel to the floor. Hands coming in towards the heart and breathing for 2. For 1. Release your back foot down, come back into your lunge, hands either side of your front foot. You're doing good. Okay, we're going to come into a wide forward fold. So I'm walking my hands around to the left side of my mat, making sure my feet are now parallel, toes towards the side of the mat. Keeping the hands a little bit forward, or you can place your hands on top of a block. You can always keep a bend in the knees. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin. And exhale, fold in. And then walk your hands so they're kind of in line with your feet, if that's available for you. Softening the head downwards. Taking the weight into the toes. Breathing into the body for 3. For 2. For 1. Lift the chest and walk the hands back a little bit forward so the wrists are underneath your shoulders. And then we're just going to take side lunges, but we're going to keep the hands in the center, and we're just going to lean into that left leg, so bending that left knee slightly. Okay? And then you're going to lean into the right leg, bend the right knee, so you're leaning over, hands are still in the center, and then back to the left, and back to the right. 1 more on the left. And then over to the right. Walk your hands back towards the top of your mat. Right foot facing towards the top of your mat. You've come back into your lunge. Stepping back into your plank, take your right foot back. Lower down, chaturanga, or drop the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. If you want to come into child's pose just to reconnect with the breath, please feel free. Okay, so we're taking triangle pose on the left side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, swing that left foot forwards. Grounding down with your back foot, straightening through the front leg, lifting yourself up, arms reaching out to the sides. Inhale, lean over towards the left, drop the left hand down, reach your right arm up. Find your triangle pose. You can use your block. Breathing for 3, for 2, for 1, taking our reverse triangle, keeping the front leg straight, lift the arms up. The right hand finds the back of the right leg, the left arm lifts up towards the sky. And we can look up to that upper hand, breathing into the body. So we're going to come into our half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. You're going to bend into your front knee, start to shorten your stride, and then take the left hand down either onto your block or finding the floor. Stack your hips on top of each other, flex your right foot, open your chest towards the right side of the room and lift your right arm up towards the sky. And you're breathing for 3. Lovely, really nice. Well done. For 2. For 1. Half splits. Release your upper arm down onto the mat. Turn your chest towards the mat. As you inhale, lift your right leg up as high as you can and start to draw the chest down towards your standing leg. Coming into the knee crunch. As you inhale, take that right knee towards the back of the left knee, rounding the spine, dropping the head down. And release. Straighten both legs. Inhale, round in. Exhale, straighten both legs. Inhale, rounding in. Lovely, really nice. Exhale, straighten. Okay, this time as we round in, that right knee is going to sit outside the left foot. We nestle our bottom. So we're sitting, yeah, you've got it. Inhale, lift that left arm up and take it back behind you. Straighten through the chest. Lift the right arm up and see if you can place it outside the knee. Drawing your chest round towards the left. Softening into the shoulders. Nice and straight through the spine. Inhale, find the length in your body. Reach your crown towards the sky. And exhale, twist a little bit deeper. So we're changing the variation slightly of the stretch by taking the left hand further away from us, behind the body, and then reaching the right arm up towards the sky. You can still look behind you if the neck is okay with that. And then coming forwards, so coming back up, coming towards that front knee, hugging the arms around the knee, holding onto the shoulders, and releasing the head down. Reconnecting with the breath. Okay, we're ready for Warrior 3. So release your hands, place them forwards. And you kind of got to give yourself a little bit of a swing forwards. So the weight comes onto the hands and the left foot, and you start to extend your right leg back behind you. Keep a bend in the front knee if that helps with your balance, and start to bring the chest parallel to the floor. Breathing for 2. And 1. Release your back foot down, come into your lunge. Hands either side of your left foot. Okay, we're coming round to the right side of our mat as we come into our wide leg forward fold. So walking my hands around to the right side. And then coming into the center. Taking the hands a little bit forward, like we did. So the wrists are kind of stacked underneath the shoulders. And looking for your straight spine. Engage your core, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Draw your shoulder blades back. Press your hips back. Crown of the head reaching forwards. feel into the pose. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, start to fold in. So moving your hands back so they come kind of level with the feet if it's available. You can bend the knees. Remember, you don't have to have the legs straight. And breathing for 3. Breathing for 2. And 1. So we're going to take our side lunge. So just leaning into your right knee. And then leaning into your left knee. Sorry, I should have said your hands come back so the wrists are underneath your shoulders. Leaning into the right knee, keeping the hands central, and just leaning over, and then into the left knee. And into our lunge on the left side, let's walk our hands back round towards the front. Hands at either side of the front foot. Now we're going to come into our plank pose, stepping that left foot back. Find your plank. And then we're going to soften down, dropping the knees, untucking the toes, and coming all the way down onto the mat. You can place your hands in front with your forehead on top of your hands. So we're just taking a little rest, just reconnecting with the breath, observing the sensations in the body. And then bringing your hands next to the chest. We're just going to work a little bit into the lower back, so just being mindful of the spine. Inhale, lifting up into Cobra pose. So coming up as far as you feel comfortable into the lower back. Breathing for 3. Maybe the arms can start to straighten a little bit. I'm going to take my hands slightly wider so my chest is opening up. For 2. For 1. And then softening back down, bending at the elbows, coming all the way down. Bringing your hands next to your chest. And either coming into child's pose for 3 breaths or coming into downward facing dog, yogi's choice. On your next inhale, if you're in child's pose, you can come into downward facing dog. We're transitioning into pigeon pose, so if you find it a little bit more tricky to transition from downward facing dog, then stay on the knees, and we're going to take the right shin forwards. Otherwise, if you're in downward facing dog, just shift that right shin towards the top of your mat and start to extend your left leg back behind you. You can use any props to support yourself underneath the right side of the body, underneath the right thigh, or underneath the right glute. And we're staying upright, okay, in our pigeon. So softening the hips down, drawing the shoulder blades just down, back and down the body. Breathing for 2. For 1. Staying here for 3 more breaths, or offering up a bind. So I'm just placing my right hand on top of my right leg. And I'm bending the left knee, reaching back with the left hand. And just see if you connect to your left foot and just drawing the foot in towards you. And then just shifting the chest round towards the left side, Maybe your gaze goes towards the back of your mat. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And release. So downward facing dog is an option for transitioning, or maybe just coming up onto your knees. We're going to shift over to the other side of our pigeon, okay? So find your variation and make your way into pigeon on the left side. Lovely, nice. So softening in, I'm just checking my back leg, ankle, knee and hip are in line, upright. You can use blocks underneath the hands if that helps. Either staying here or finding your bind. So bending the right knee, reaching back with the right hand and just drawing the right foot towards you. Taking the chest round towards the right side. Taking your gaze towards the back of your mat. 1 more breath. And then release. Tucking your toes. Finding downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. You can find some movement here if you need to wiggle out through the hips, through the backs of the legs. And then we're making our way into seated. So if you're in downward facing dog, you can cross over your feet. So my right foot is just coming mid-back mat to the outer edge, left outer edge. So right foot coming to mid-mat, left outer edge. And then the left foot coming, so the knees cross, and then we sit back. And we extend the legs. Okay. So what are we doing? We're doing fire log. So fire log, first of all, I just want you to hold on to your right shin. So you can either hold on to it with the hands and swing the right knee back and forwards. You can play with maybe taking the right foot into the crook of the elbow and holding on to the shin. Or maybe you're just literally holding the left foot, holding the right foot, holding the right knee and just moving. So we're just warming up through the hip here. Fire log is quite a deep hip opener. Okay. So option 1 of fire log is to rest your right foot just above your left knee and you stay in this position, okay? And we're looking to draw the right knee downwards. Full pose is to also bend the left knee and have the left shin coming across the top. And then we try and stack the shins on top of each other. We can use a block, a pillow or a cushion to support underneath the right shin. This is my preferred option. My flexibility, the rotation in my hip is still something I'm working on, so I'm just going to take that support. I'm not going to force anything, and I'm just very gently pressing down onto the top, onto my right thigh. I know for some this is a lovely yummy pose, but for others it can be a bit challenging. So just draw the eyes closed, soften the breath, keep the breath flowing, don't hold on to the breath. When we come into those more challenging postures, the breath can speed up and it can sit predominantly in the chest. Let's keep that breath flowing into the belly. For 2. For 1. And then we can release. So just extend the legs out in front, maybe wiggle the feet from side to side. Give the legs a little shake. And we'll come over to the other side. So first starting with cradling. So find your variation of cradling. Okay, where the forearms are holding onto that shin, and you can wrap around. And the focus here is drawing the knee back and forth. So the knee goes outer and then comes in, out and in. Trying to keep a nice straight spine. So if the variation you've taken is causing you to round the back, maybe you just need to soften a little bit and take this pose. Okay, ready for your final variation 1. Just taking one leg and focusing on drawing the left knee downwards. Variation 2, bending, stacking the shins on top of each other. Drawing this left knee down towards the right foot. Take your variation if you need it. I've got slightly different flexibility from left to right in my hips, so actually on this side I don't feel I need any support, but listen to your body, feel into your body, and we're just gently drawing the left knee and the left thigh downwards. Soften into the body, soften into the shoulders, draw the eyes closed and allow the breath to flow. Breathing deep into the body. And then we can release. Release the legs. Give the legs a little shake. Okay, it's Shavasana time. We got there really quickly today. So you've got half a minute. If you have any other pose that you would like to do before you come into Shavasana, please feel free. We haven't done a spinal twist today, so if anyone wants to take a spinal twist before you come into Shavasana, please feel free. If you want to hold on to your feet and take a happy baby, or if you just want to hug the knees in. You just got a few moments to prepare for Shavasana. And then making your way into your Shavasana position, lying on the backs. So you can have a bend in the knees if you feel the back needs a little bit of support, particularly the lower back. You can place a rolled blanket underneath the knees. You can lie on your side. Softening into your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Allowing the body to completely let go. No need to hold on. Feeling fully supported by the earth beneath you. As you allow yourself to completely release, completely relax. Allowing all that lovely energy you've created in your flow this morning to move around the body, to replenish, to restore. And we're just giving the body space to heal, to work its magic. Allowing the natural breath to flow here. Finding stillness in the body and stillness in the mind as the thoughts drift by like the clouds. Allowing them to come in and then allowing them to just drift by. As we come to the end of Shavasana together, you're very welcome to stay in your relaxation. Otherwise, you're just starting to reconnect to the body, finding some gentle movements, maybe in the fingers, toes, maybe moving the head from side to side. Reconnecting to the breath. Reconnecting to the sounds. You bring yourself back into the space and then just gently rolling over onto your side. Eyes are still closed. Slowly making your way into a comfortable seated position. Your eyes are still closed. You're still in that lovely space that you've created. Sense of calm. Sense of softness in the body. Just take a moment to observe how you're feeling. And then we can start to rub the palms together, creating a little heat, a little bit of energy in the hands, placing the hands over the closed eyelids, taking a deep inhale through the nose, and a big exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Releasing the hands, slowly opening up the eyes. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me.